Students taking the SAT fall for the same wrong answers over and over because the test designers know exactly which mistakes you'll make. A lot of the incorrect answers aren't random. They're deliberately created to be trap answers. All right, so let's read through this one together. A store increases the price of a $50 item by 20% and then decreases the new price by 20%. What is the final price? First of all, store, stop changing your price all the time, okay? Second of all, what's the trap answer here? A lot of students reading this might think, well, if they increase the price by 20% and then decrease the price by 20%, we're just gonna end up back at the same starting price. But that's the trap. All right, let's do this out now and we'll see why we don't end up back at 50, okay? So first there's a price increase of 20%. So we're gonna do 50 times 0.2, that's for your 20%. You could also write 20 there. That's our 20%, okay? So $50 times 0.2, this is gonna give us 20% of 50, which is, if you can just plug this into your calculator, okay? And that's gonna give you $10. And then we can add those. So 50 plus 10 is $60, okay? Here's the thing, we're gonna do a price decrease of 20% now. And we just said that 20% of 50 is 10, but 60 is more than 50. So 20% of 60 is gonna be more than 20% of 50. So this 20% increase was $10, but this decrease is probably gonna be more than $10. And let's check that out. So we can do the same thing. So we'll do 60 times 0.2, again, just plug that in your calculator. You can write 20 if that helps you. This is gonna get you 20% of 60, which is $12, okay? And now since this is a decrease, we're gonna subtract this time. So 60 minus 12, and what do we get? 48. And is that one of our answers? Boom, there you go, A, $48. So yeah, these percent problems, this is a classic example of when they might do a trap answer. If you see a problem where there's an increased percent and then a decrease by the same percent, you cannot assume that the increased amount is gonna be the same as the decreased amount. They're almost always gonna be different numbers, and that's what this trap is about. Share this with somebody who keeps making the same SAT math mistakes.